We might hang out at the park today for a little bit. Let me share this. So I'll set up appropriately. Can't really tell. There's a little bit of glare, but hello. Hi, I'm Zen. You're over there. And I'm going to do another. We'll begin this on the ideas of social media. And to a thing that I'd like to remind people. And a question, too. It's kind of a thought game, but do you think there's a possibility that there's any way to have a social media network that doesn't just turn into what is a giant portion of bots, a bunch of troll type people, a bunch of Redditor know-it-all kinds? You think there could be any type of site that was up for any kind of, I don't know, human type discussion, like debate, where you could have maybe say a difference in opinions on something with someone without being mobbed by the hive mind? Because I remember before when Reddit first had come out, it was decent, and then the hive mind hit it really hard. The hive mind and the bots, and then people realizing they could have more than one account and then troll people, and just like, people that really have nothing better to do but then to just give people just waste time and get a snicker out of making somebody thinking they're making somebody upset or something. I wonder if that's possible. Who's up in here? That is my face. What is going on there? What's up, Ninja? Do I think that at 100% health, breathing would no longer be necessary? Hive mind just turns into hive mind turns into a fish pond, pretty much. Oh my gosh, there's a dog. I'll start with is breathing necessary? Probably not. I mean, it depends on how you think your cells in your body work. I mean, we certainly know that we can slow down our brain waves and slow down our breathing patterns. And hello, hi puppy. we can slow things down to almost non-animation, where there's people that can hold their breath underwater for 20 minutes. There's people that have buried themselves, and they slow down their heart rate and their brain waves. So I mean, to say never would be kind of difficult to say. I don't know what the purpose would be. I guess you could. I mean, if you can in the dream world, and as per usual, what are the cells made of? The first cell that goes into making your body, is it breathing? Is it breathing? Is a cell on its own breathing? The oxygen that's around you, what is that doing? The only thing that could happen anywhere really is a type of an exchange of energy. I don't know. It seems like it would be possible, but I wouldn't see the use in it. And yeah, the everything turning into a cesspool of just morons and idiots. Yeah, it's like, is that avoidable? If you say anything that's not fit to be. Oh, hello, doggy. Come over here. Oh, if the dog comes over here, I'm sorry. Hi, puppy. Oh, come here, puppy. Uh-oh. The dog got very far away from the leash towards the road. That's no good. Sorry, I was concerned a kiss for the dog. Yeah, the whole idea of hi, what up, squirrel? The whole idea of a social media site that doesn't somehow get decayed down to the point that everything turns into hive mind nonsense. I wonder if it's possible. That everything isn't isn't just pop narrative of anything. The popular way of viewing things, which is rarely, I found, rarely right. Rarely in the world is whatever popular opinion is it almost is almost never right, and or healthy or holistic or whatever you want to call it. Sorry if I keep doing this with my glasses here. So maybe in the other, let's see where this doggy went, because I want to play with him. I don't know if she got him, if she went across the street. What the hell's going on here? I've been listening to this audio, and the last name is Baird, and I don't know. It's like a compilation of stories of these people trying to go visit the teachers and the masters of the East, and seeing if their superhuman, their superpowers, manifestation powers, um, being able to walk through fire, these kind of things that appear superhuman, but are quite, everyone is capable of doing these things. And it goes back to the question, could you survive without breathing? Which is, if you have control over the cells in your body, then what would affect the cells in your body? What would affect your breathing? What would, if you could, I've seen plenty of, you could walk on hot coals. How come some people can? And if you were just to think about doing it, you would burn your feet. But if you just got into alignment with it, you would be fine. You just walk over the hot coals, you'd be fine. So, um, what to get into here? What kind of talk do we want to get into? The idea of manifestation of, let's say manifesting a popular, a proper social media site where it's not. Could we manifest that? I don't know. Is it even worth it? Hold on, I'm still a little sidetracked by this dog. I just want to make sure it's like it got to where it's going and it's not running around the streets. Okay. Okay, so let's get. I know I'm a little sidetracked here, and maybe this double shot of Starbucks energy coffee will do the trick. Manifesting things. We're gonna get into that. You wanna light codes and manifestation of things. Have you ever done enough psychedelics, or ever just sat in meditation long enough where you're staring at something and then the image in front of you changes? It completely becomes a new reality. Can you walk into that? How much do you know that you pretty much control the entire spectrum of reality, all the light codes. You control all of it. You go, yeah, but you're there and that person's there, so how come they're not doing anything? Well, they would just show up in the next version of the reality that you implement if they're supposed to be on that harmonic, right? So if you knew that your mind was the most powerful thing, and you could remember that the past doesn't exist and neither does the future, you would only present yourself with whatever you wanted, and whatever you see as the next moment, the next now, the next future. That you'd have to go, oh, well, everything that I think, everything I thought is garbage. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what was factual. It doesn't matter what was false. It doesn't matter what's the truth. It doesn't matter. You just present yourself with another reality. That's impossible. Yet you do it all the time. You just do it in microwaves. You're doing very small doses here and there. You ever go down a street and you're like, huh, where'd that house come from? Where'd that store come from? Did they just put that there? There's a couple stories that I read that were really interesting. And these things have happened to me too, but there's just so many of them. So what I was reading was about this guy wanted a this guy was in a new city. He was I think he was a magician, like card magician or something, or needed a tarot deck or something. So he's looking for a magic shop, and he goes, "Oh man!" He drives by, sees one, and he goes, "Cool, I'll check it out." He goes there. He goes there and gets what he needs. It's all he knows where it is. He goes inside. It's all packed with cards and everything that's magic like. And he leaves, and he goes, "Oh, the next day he goes, I wanted to go get something else because I needed something else." And he goes, "I went back there, and the place didn't exist anymore." He's like, "I knew exactly what it was. And it just was not there anymore." Yeah, you ever had that happen? Or like in reverse, where you're like, "I know that store wasn't there yesterday. I'm positive of it. Where did that come from?" So there's little things in your reality that you call them Mandela effects, or maybe you just didn't notice it, and we can chalk it up to those psychological things where you have blind spots in your vision. Yeah, okay. But certainly we are adjusting reality to slight bits here and there. You think about someone and they call you, or you're having a good day and you get all the green lights. Having a bad day, you get all the red lights. That kind of thing. You're projecting out all of that reality in front of you. So the more that you eliminate what you think of as your past or history, the more you have, um, you know, you stop painting with those colors that you might not like. Usually, when you say past or history, most people go, "Oh, past or history, you think of bad things." That's usually the association. Everybody's like, "Oh, I'm longing for the days of." I mean, you have that too. Yeah, the love's lost and all these. You can paint with those colors. But as a general rule, most of what you've experienced, you would just throw out. Like if you don't like it, don't. It's not part of your reality. So you would paint. So if you eliminate that and be of empty mind, be mindless, and you can create anything you want in front of you. I mean, certainly there's going to be some hardwired programs that you're going to have a hard time adjusting, and would you want to? Like this tree, I don't think I'm going to be able to just erase from my reality. It's not going to just go away, and I don't want it to. So there's going to be some staples to this reality that will stick here, and I don't think that my mind would be currently strong enough to just go, okay, I want all of these houses to be bright pink tomorrow. Like, what kind of, that would be just a little bit insane, right? I mean, if it happened and I believed it enough, I'd be well on my way to doing anything I wanted, right? But, you take these little steps of altering little things in your reality, or manifesting little things in reality. And once you start to manifest all the little things, you upgrade. It's not that you're not manifesting the bigger things. It's harder to notice because it might take longer. Danny, I got my milky and sugar. Yes, I did. I did. I was just gonna get a shot of espresso, but the double mocha was looking kind of fresh today. Okay, fantastic. I'm very upset that I don't get to play with this dog. I don't know where it went. And also the dog was attached to its owner was kind of cute, so It was twofold. So yeah, like let's get into mm, speech, spells, um, imaging, words, and little wins, I guess. I think people need to see. The difficult thing is most people aren't aware or conscious enough of their breathing or their thoughts throughout the day that they would have a hard time, checking in on themselves every few minutes, making sure they're still aware that they're here. Are you still here? Are you still right there? Do you ever get this? Oh, where am I? You got to check in on yourself. Everyone should go and download that meditation bell app. Pretty simple. You just put it to ding for you every whatever amount of minutes, and it'll just give you a little reminder to be like, oh, are you still here? And during those little times, you would check it out yourself and say, am I maintaining a it's not about positive or negative thought. It's a thought that is good to you. It could be anything you want. What's positive to you might be negative to somebody else. It's what's good to you. So you're just maintaining what kind of thing do I want, and then you'd be, oh, I can definitely obtain that, and then you eliminate that thought. You say thank you, and you move on to your next, whatever your next thought is. 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, what else do you want to what do you want to obtain or acquire? What is it that you desire? Because remember, the world functions for one reason, and one reason alone, and that is because of desire. Without a streetcar named Desire, without desire, nothing exists. If you desired nothing, then nothing would exist, and you'd have nothing. Yes, I get it. The concept that you gotta, it's twofold here. One part of it is require nothing and be content with what you have, and here you are, and here's this is all exists. But there's always that desire that makes manifest what you have now. And yes, I'm content with it. Be content with what you've received as your gifts in your present moment, which was in the past, what you'd consider the past, a desire. What for me, what would I have to complain about? It's Wednesday. It's about noon. Smoking a cigar, drinking coffee underneath one of the oldest trees in New Orleans, and I'm living exactly where I'd want to live. Along the Mississippi. I'm in a park. What do I have to complain about? So, because I don't have anything to complain about, I go, thank you, this is wonderful. What else would I like? You can be content and enjoy, but you're always going to desire and manifest something else. It doesn't have to be more, it could just be something different. What would that be? And the thing people have to really, the part where God, the thing that you call God or source code, is equivalent to saying magic. It's the same thing as saying Jesus. It's the same thing as saying imagination, magic. It's all the same thing. And what you have to realize in all of that is, oddly enough, it's the opposite of making an effort. You just have to expect the universe to provide it for you. When people say, oh, God will do it, what they're really trying to say, the universal code, the whole construct of reality, because you're thinking it and that's what you desire, it will come to fruition. There's nothing you have to do about trees growing you food. They're going to do it. There's nothing you have to do about the sun, coming around. There's nothing you have to do about that, right? And then everything else that's occurring, you have to just kind of go, I mean, who are you to, this is what you'll feel like inside, and this is what you've been told your whole life. You got to work for it. Who are you to just expect to get anything you want? You have to let that shit go. Who cares what anybody else thinks? Who cares how you obtained anything? Things should just come to you. Shouldn't this life be what you want it to be? Shouldn't let anybody else tell you, oh, you didn't work hard enough for that. You don't know how hard I worked to get this. You don't know how difficult it is to keep a sane mind in this troubling stew of nonsense that this world is sometimes. But you have to just put all that on over there. Don't involve yourself in the fuckery and the nonsense. I just go, of course I deserve that. I mean, what am I only going to say I deserved it when I talked some dumb shit and somebody slapped me? Is that when I deserve it? But when I do something in the opposite direction, I don't deserve that. See, this is where people get fucked up in the head. You gotta put yourself to say mentally. If you ask the universe for something, you want to call it karma or whatever you want to call it source, call it magic, call it God, whatever, it'll provide for you. So why would you expect less than anything that you wanted? Why would you expect less than? I know, I get it. It's because you're used to it, because it's become habitual that you go, oh, with every good there must be a bad. That's not true. It's not true at all. Good and bads aren't opposites. They're perceptions of the mind. Here's the example that I was given, and I thought this one really struck a chord with me. Let's see if this works for you. If I say good and bad, it'd be equivalent to saying, I tell you 2 plus 2 is 3, and I tell you, or is 2 plus 2 5. Now, you wouldn't focus on either one of those. You would say, no, 2 and 2 is 4. You would focus on whatever you'd consider perfection, whatever you consider whatever is right for you. That's what you'd consider. That's the other option. There's no good or bad. You go with the option you want. You don't go. You don't go to the restaurant and they said, you want chicken or steak, and you go, no, I would like to have fish. You see, you have to bury the options of good or bad and just go with what you desire. Like I was listening to Jordan Peterson, and it's a standard thing that, for there to be evil, and without evil there's no good, and without good there's no, without bad there's no good. And I'm more and more I think about that, I'm like, I don't know. It's perception. Plenty of people that you'd consider evil think they're doing good, and plenty of people that are doing perceived monstrous things are actually helping. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole variety and litany of different things that people, it benefits one but not the other. So there's no real good way to look at things. There's no real solid way. Like, hey, we could go all day on all of these doctors and things and say how they've crippled and destroyed things, but equally you could say, well, they're getting rid of the chaff. They're getting rid of maybe they're getting rid of robots. Maybe they're getting rid of the people that don't exist, that don't have souls. Who knows? So who cares? Don't judge it. There's no judgment to be had. Like, since you're just like you're an offshoot of the Godhead. God has no judgment, really. No, you can't have any judgment. So you have preferences in life, and you pick and choose what you desire and what your preferences are. How do you feel about that? What's up, Santo? Are you on a water juice? How's that going? You're waiting to run out of perishables? Yeah, I've been out of perishables for a while, but I'm kind of just why do you have people they why do people have this need, this thing where they feel need to feel worship because they work every day? Oh yeah. Oh, I hear you. Well, that's where does that come from? That comes from, being devalued, for having fun. Once you grow up, you gotta work. You're if you're enjoying yourself, people are like, "What do you think? This is a joke? We out here, we struggled, so that way you gotta struggle," and you're put in a position to feel, you'd feel unworthy. So then you go and you you go through the hustle, the struggle, the work hard, the all that, and then you should, this is what my father had to go through, so I have to go through it, and you should praise me and respect me because I put the hours in, I put the effort in. And it's like, well, you just put different kind of time in. Like, what did you put your time in for? Were you actually picking up bricks and building things? No? Okay. Okay, so you didn't, did you, what, did you be selling things? Did you invest in your companies? What did you do? Like, how did you use your mind? Everyone's put their effort and time in different ways. Like, these people they have their business and they put a lot of effort and time in and spend, hours and hours, and they get the fruits and of their labors and the rewards and whatever. But I'm like, okay, but I would challenge you. If you put as much time into what I'm doing as have you put as much time into what I'm doing as what I'm doing? No, you haven't. But have I put my time into what you're doing? No, I haven't. So it's all how much work have you really put in? Some people never read a book, and they're still happy and successful. Other people, they read books all day long, and that makes them feel worthy. It's an escape or something. Yeah, everybody has a feeling that their work is more valuable than someone else's, and in most cases, whatever people are doing, it's not. It's really not. It's not. It's far from valuable to the world. You know, most things are detrimental to society at large. There's not too many people out there really putting in, like, how can we assist, how can we really assist humanity, and the people that are think they're doing it, they're short-sighted on what they're doing. I mean, consider how many people think this whole electricity green car thing is helpful. They really believe it, and they've done no furthering research, and they don't understand about, um, what electricity, like, they've never studied heavy side, they've never studied electrical, like, they don't know anything about it, so they have no idea what's going on out here with the extra networks and the extra microwaves and all that. They don't know how all that works. They really think they're doing, assisting humanity. They think it's cleaner and helpful, but in fact, perhaps not. I mean, if they know their body's not running on, if they know what their body's running on, then they would question the frequencies and the modulations of energy, and the magnetism, and the gases, the oils that they put in their body, the electricity that's going on around them. They would question the gases that are coming out of the tailpipe, because that's going into their lungs. But then they forget that they're also electric beings. The body sings electric. I mean, you're electromagnetic, period. And but they don't question everything that's going on in the environment. See, so a lot of people are short-sighted in what they're doing. No fault of their own, but I mean, could it be their fault? No, you can only have so much time. You only so much of a purview of the reality. You can't see the whole thing. Yeah, haters of your current lifestyle and philosophy. Yeah, yeah. There's quite a. You know what? I learned a long time ago. Here's one thing I never do. I never ask anyone what they do for a living. I don't ask them anything about their job or what their employment is. I don't until I know them long enough, and then they'll just like. I've had friends that I've hung out with that I lit for I don't know months, like knew them intimately, and I didn't know what they did for a living because it's like if they wanted to share that, they'll share it. I just don't, because I'm not going to put value on, like, then I find out, oh, I'm a driver for UPS, right? So I'm going to judge them on that. Like that's your life. That's how you get down. Somebody else, what do they do? How do you got so much money? Oh, I'm a pharmaceutical rep. Well, that's not great. That's not healthy, but I guess it's making you enough money. We can go out and have some fun, huh? There's people get too caught up in what everybody else is doing. Yeah, the other thing too is like whenever I see people like sort of like they look at me and like, what the fuck do you do, and like, how do you live like this, and da 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 da. I'm like, I don't. What people don't know, I put it like this. I'm not saying I'm equivalent to Michael Jordan, but because I'm not a psychopath. But everybody's like, oh, I'd love to be a professional basketball player. I'd love to be that good. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want to do that. I know you don't. You know why? You have to put all that work. Do you want to put all the time and effort he put in? Do you know how many hours? Do you know what he had to give up? You know the dedication he had to put in to that craft? He had to become a psycho. He had to be. He had to give up everything that you know as part of your life. He did not participate in. He went out there like watching movies and eating spaghettios and going and hanging out with friends and reading books and whatever the hell you're doing, whatever you find. And he was like, I'm in the gym, I'm sweating, I'm putting this ball into the hoop, and I'm gonna make millions and millions of dollars doing this. And he became dedicated doing that. You don't want to go through that. So whenever people like how do you live like this, I'm like, you don't know what it takes to do this. Like you wouldn't want to be as isolated. I don't think you'd want to be as isolated as I put myself sometimes. You wouldn't want to sit by yourself and scour through books and sit in libraries and or read books and watch documentaries for like days on end. You wouldn't want to do that. And if you did want to do that, you would have done it. But you did. So, like, would I give up what I know for um, like a cushy job? But I had to be there, 40 hours a week, but I made buku, like I was making whatever, $1 million a year. I don't know that I would trade it. I really would have a hard time. It's not, I don't see it. Because I'd lose my fucking mind, and I wouldn't know the shit that I know, having to be somewhere, going through like, doing the whole whatever it take, 40 hours a week of just repetitious nonsense to people to get paid. So that what I do, I would end up with probably a cocaine problem and all sorts of STDs and way too many fucking prostitutes, and have way more problems with too many women. It would be too much. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'd trade it in for that. I mean, it's not like I haven't had my problems with the fairer species. Hey, maybe I got a little Japanese in me. Looked down upon as a job title and occupation. As well it should be. I don't, I don't see the point in it. If somebody wants to share that and that's part of their, it's like if I don't, I'm not gonna ask to, you got a wife? Like if you got a wife, you bring her out. If you got a girlfriend, I'll meet her. I don't know. It's same as anything else. What do you enjoy doing? I'll find out if you like to golf, because you'd be like, hey, you want to go golf? Cool. I'll find out if you like to buy prostitutes because you'll buy a prostitute when you're around me. I'll find out if you do drugs when you're around me because you'll do drugs around me. That's how. And then I'll evaluate based upon those things and when and where and how I want to hang out with someone. I'm not gonna be like, hey, can we you go on a dating app and it's like fill this thing out. I've looked at those things before. I'm like, I can't answer any of these. Everything is so up in the air. Like you're asking me a question and I'm like, yeah, there's about 6 answers I give you that one. There's no. I'm like, what do you like doing? When, where, with who? How much time you got? It's like going out on a date is like handing in a resume. Do you know how worthless resumes are? And they always have been. Dating off a dating app is like reading someone's resume to go out on a date with them, to hire somebody, sight unseen. Never met them. You just read the resume. Oh, this sounds pretty good. Oh, he went to Harvard. Oh, he used to work for fucking, whoever, whatever. So then you're just working with nepotism and you're working with that kind of bullshit. Well, they went to that kind of school. They went to this, so they have a similar background and ideology, but that's probably not going to work so good for everyone. That'd be a rather boring way to meet people too. You know what I mean? And isn't that where we're kind of going? Really? You get to pretty much just look at someone's resume online, get a couple fucking. If you're a chick, you're gonna take a picture of you with all sorts of filters on that doesn't look like you, and you're gonna type a bunch of shit that probably isn't like you, and then guys are gonna make shit up too, and you're gonna get this fake, phony version of what you're gonna who you're gonna hang out with. No. It's how you respond to somebody when you meet them immediately. There's an immediacy to connection with somebody. It's not resume building 101. How to social media, how to date, how to like, man, that would be so corny in the future. It's even shitty now. Like dating is weird because what choices you got? You go to a bar, what's gonna happen there? Okay, you're gonna get drunk and hook up with whoever, and they're fun enough, and you might meet somebody cool, but then still you're in that late night bar scene hookup kind of thing. So that probably not gonna last. Or you're gonna go what? Get online and get these. You're gonna swipe right, and as you're on a date with somebody, you go on a couple dates, and you're still swiping on there, looking for what's next. I don't know. The world's goofy. Danny, more of a hands-on person. Exactly. Hey, Suntuck, you need to change. Yeah. Yeah, like, nah, I'm God. I put myself here for a reason. I know. That's about it, man. Like, what? Change what? You can, if you here's the thing is, everybody should recognize this. If you had the power to change, no, I'm not saying the power, but the wherewithal, the ability, the expertise to change, you would. But since you can't, you don't. It's kind of how that works. I see somebody working at fucking. Okay, here. I see you working at McDonald's. I'm like, hey, why don't you just go work at a fucking aerospace engineering firm? They're gonna be like, huh? Oh yeah, that's right. Because you didn't go to college for that. You don't have no idea what's going on there. So therefore, this is what you're doing. That's how it works. So when anybody tells you like, oh, why don't you do this? Like, well, because I'm not doing that. It's like why isn't a squirrel swimming? You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess they could swim, but what I'm saying. You know what I'm getting at. So if you were to judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, That kind of game. You guys know that one? What's up, man? What's up, Tan? What is going on? Just blowing some trees over here. Oh no! Did did a squirrel piss on my head? No, it was just a drop of dew or something. I don't know. Hmm. What else are we talking about here? Yeah, tan. Yeah, tan. I mean, it's a cigar. It's a cheap cigar, but I thoroughly enjoy. If anybody does not know this, my breakfast, my thoroughly enjoy for breakfast a glass of wine. Well, I get up. I want lemonade. I want to drink lemonade, take a shit, and then for breakfast I want a double or triple espresso. I want a triple espresso, a little bit of cream, a little bit of sugar, a glass of white wine, and a cigar. That's breakfast. That's my breakfast. I would do that pretty much. I'd probably do that 5 out of 7 days if I could. I mean, I guess I could. I just some days gotta take a break. I don't smoke cigars that often, but cheap cigar, cheap glass of wine. Yeah, that would get me to about lunchtime, and then we'll see. Yeah. Oh, so if anybody wants to, feel free. You can donate into my cigar slash wine slash water for the hurricane season fund. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. It's in the description box. It's TSAR capital XEN. That's appreciated. That's what I'll be needing for the for when the power goes out and it's flooded out here. Some cigars, some water, some wine. Yeah, that should be, and some juice, I guess. And then I'll just that will be kind of my fast. And I think everybody else will have coffee, so I won't need that. Oh, raspberry. Yeah, lemonade with raspberry is very good. When a flood's coming, yeah. Well, it's after having experienced a very big hurricane last year, and the year before there was a pretty decent one, but um, that one didn't really affect my part of town as much as it did over here. I didn't live over here for that one, but last year it was 10 days of no power in 90 plus degree heat. And supposedly this year there's going to be way worse hurricanes. This is according to like the weather and the all of the you know if you pay attention to NOAA and the Weather Channel and the whatever that book is, the Farmer's Almanac. So I really don't think. I think we'll probably get a little flooded here. I think we're fine on them breaking the fucking the things again. What up, Crow? I think we'll be fine with that, but I'm sure I'm sure power will go out again. I'm sure some trees will get broke. I'm sure there'll be definitely some damage. Hopefully not as much as bad. Hopefully not as bad as last year, but what up, Big Crow? What are you doing? Caw. What up, Caw? Robert Greene, Laws of Human Nature. Ninja Turtle. I read his first two, the 48 Laws of Power and the Art of Seduction. Um, I mean, I loved it, but it's so funny because when you reread it, you're like, is this a book just to teach people how to be psychopaths? Like, really? In the best way, it's teaching people all of the the techniques and the counter techniques to things. So when people are being manipulative and psychopathic or sociopaths to you, you could deflect that bullshit. Uh, um, yeah, I really enjoyed the first two. Um, yeah. Well, I don't think it will be a month. Like last year, like I said, it was like 10 days. Other parts of the city, like outside of New Orleans proper, they were screwed for a lot longer than 10 days. Like even in the city right now, it's a year later almost, and there's still plenty of houses that have tarps on their roof because some of them insurance didn't come through. Some of it is just there's not enough people to get the work done. Some of it is people can't afford it, whatever. But a lot of it is just there was just so much to redo. Like when everything happened here, like dude, this entire city park, I got some of it on film last year. There's a huge parking lot, and the entire parking lot, like there's like two huge parking lots, three of them actually. Shit, there was people from Atlanta and all the surrounding states with all of the electrical companies and everything. There was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trucks, to cut down trees, to fix lines, and I'm saying for like weeks. It was crazy, crazy times, man. And I could even imagine if it wasn't for the neighboring cities and states. I don't know how long it would have taken to get the grid back up. Like 10 days with help of hundreds, if not 1,000 plus other employees from other states. So that's why I'm saying like the last couple videos I made is just a reminder that y'all should learn how to fast. And because of the extra heat and everything this year, the heat index is up and it's definitely hotter. There's more of a draw on the grid for a lot of reasons, and there will be rolling blackouts this year, no doubt. They've already said there'll be, whether it's on purpose or it doesn't matter. So, and if it is like some weather and some crazy shit happens, like if that hurricane hit other major cities just besides here, that would be royally fucked. I mean, because then we wouldn't have had the help from the other cities, right? And so they would have been trying to fix their own shit. So it would have taken 4 times as long, at least. So this year, if there is a bunch of fucking chaos, which I think there will be, everybody better be. You better know how to fast. You better have some mm, candles on hand. Better enjoy meditating. I don't know. What's up, yo? Is it KL? Is it KALKA? Because I have like such a glare on my phone. This is why I'm doing this. I can barely see it. Is it Kalka or Katka? It's Katka, yeah. Um, what do I think about us having powers to modify the weather conditions? Absolutely, without question. I've talked about that to great extent in many videos. Addressing it very simply, we're all part of the whole electrical magnetic grid, right? Especially ground out. There's weather. There's rain dances and shit. This is for a reason. We're putting off a a field of energy. You can go out and prove it to yourself in one way. You can go cloud busting. Go outside and focus on a cloud, and you can make it disappear. Anybody can. I've taught people to do this that were like, no way you're doing that. I was like, try it. And they're like, what the fuck? So there's a amount of focus that you can use, and that focus is part of you're part of this reality, and you're spitting off a bunch of energy. So some people are more powerful at doing it, but certainly from a physical perspective, we do have quite an effect on the weather. And then on a bigger perspective, which is this one. Okay, if let me try to explain this one. This one's pretty easy to understand. If I suggest to you something will occur, and they say there's 5 people, I suggest to 5 people something will occur. Together, the energy of those 5 people will make something occur at a faster rate of speed. It will be more power. It will be amplified. Now, if I'm the weatherman and I tell the whole city it's going to be hot today or it's going to rain today or something, and everybody watches that weather report, they're going to go, it's raining today, it's hot today, whatever it is. And that meditation is putting off a mindset, which is an image, which is a frequency, which is they're going to go outside, oh, it's going to rain. So if everybody just didn't agree with the rain, with the person that was the weatherman, you could definitely affect weather in the other direction. Like how is the weatherman sometimes wrong? If he gives you a 50-50 shot of it might rain, it might not. I think it depends on how many people are susceptible. They can say, oh, it's 50-50. Well, if 60% of the people don't want it to rain, it probably ain't gonna rain. There's a art of suggestion and psychological magic going on with the weatherman. I mean, certainly they're doing weather modification programs with physical means. With they can make cloud. You can make clouds. They have machines that do this. You can go watch videos on YouTube, making giant clouds. They're doing all sorts of things to change the weather. But as well, you can adjust the weather. To what degree? I don't know. It depends on how many people are around. How do you think the Indians would always, they talk about rain dancing? They're putting off it's a field of energy they're putting off that will manifest rain or perhaps no rain. Like, if they kept telling people, like, okay, when I told you like the Lake Mead's going to probably dry up by the end of this year, if not, probably by, not dry up, but to the point where it's a big problem for whoever's over there. The more they keep pushing that agenda, the more people they're gonna buy into it, and I have nothing to do with that, So I'm just going with like, it really appears they're pushing that hard, so people over there are gonna be like, well, I guess we're running out of water. We might want to. There's gonna be fires. There's gonna be this. There's gonna be that, and they're gonna fall right into it. They're gonna eat up that. Granted, it is hotter. Granted, they're using water. Granted, all these things are happening like they normally would, and they're magnifying something by suggesting it. It's the art of suggestion that can get people's mind to create a reality. Well, yeah, there's that. I mean, to obtain certain cities, yeah, I mean, there's certainly people that are more powerful at specific things. Like, for instance, to gain a really, really powerful city, right? That takes a lot of practice and dedication and focus. But considering everybody has the capacity to control all of the elements, I mean, that's you anyways. You can do that. Couple Blue Angels. But just on a micro level, because people aren't even thinking about that they're gaining some sort of city, some sort of power, some sort of capacity. Here's a first way to look at it is whether or not people know it, they have the ability to. And then they have an amplified power depending on when they were born. So I'm an air sign, so I have a lot more control just out the gate, because my 4 months of my 3 months of air are completely full. So you got your 3, 6, 9, 12, your air, fire, earth, and water. Mine are full. The other ones, I'm missing 1 month on each of those because of when I was in the womb. So for my ability to use fire, to use water, and to use earth is hindered until I gain the kind of people around me, the kind of knowledge of fire, of to complete that whole how would you say it, like what I would complete that element. But so if you're a fire sign, if you're around fire, you probably have way more control over it than people that are water signs. So in that sense, if there's like the other day it was really windy out, and my friend's like, it's about to be super windy. I was like, nope, watch this. And he's like, dude, it's supposed to be the storm is coming this way. It's supposed to be 60-mile-an-hour winds. It's gonna happen. And it picked up wind. I was like, no, it's not. Watch. And I just started playing with the wind, and it didn't happen. He goes, what the fuck? I was like, watch. Go watch the weather. It's going the other way. And it went the other way. I mean, am I saying that I did that specifically? Perhaps a little bit. You know? I mean, why not? Oh shit! That the rainstorm thing. I see. That's that one. That's crazy. That story to me is utterly goddamn insane. I don't think about that too often because it's bizarro world to me. Does everybody here know that story? When I was at that bar inside. I don't know who's here. Yep, yep. Katka, yes. Katka, there you go, there you go. Oh, Katrina, you came through. You fucked the city up. That was you. You motherfucker. You motherfucker. You. Yeah, Jen, I hear about the shrooms and dissolving. Yeah. Oh, nice. The butterflies brought you the robins. That's cool. Michael Talbot, the holographic universe. Yep. Yeah, man. I don't even know. Like I know what you're saying. In that realm where you're just making things happen like almost instantaneously. I've done it quite a bit, but it's like it just happens so frequently, and so, it's so that I'm like, oh yeah, that story, because like the one that Katrina was just talking about. Um. Oh, Suntoke, nice. That's excellent. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes the universe will give you that. Like a physical jolt to do something that you need to do for yourself. Yeah, no, I've been there. I've had ailments. Um, I've had things like where I broke my foot. I do this, I do that, and I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be going anywhere and doing anything right now. I shouldn't be going out and wasting my power, my energy, my currency, and let me just sit home and do some reading, some meditations. I should have done it anyways, but instead the universe was like, here, let me just break your toe. That will sit you right down. Yeah, Suntog, you like fire sign people in your water. Probably, yeah, due to that's what you need to fill up your other aspects, right? Like, I end up well, chicks, I end up dealing with a lot of fire and water signs. I'm an air sign, so I like to blow on fire, you know. Thus, probably the dilemma with some of my relationships. Um, but yeah, I think that is it for a lot of people. Like there's some that you won't get along with, and it's I can explain it to you this way. In your chart, you have what was born before you and what was born after you, your neighbors. So in real life, growing up, your neighbor to your left you probably didn't like, and your neighbor to your right you did like. Same thing in your chart, because one you're missing and one you have. And then if you looked at those neighbors, the one to your left didn't like you, and you know what I'm saying? Like it worked opposite. So there was like a compulsion of a repulsion and a contraction, I guess. Would that be right? Like a push and a pull from one and the other, because of what you're missing in your chart. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Oh, it's yeah. The Gemini's, the smooth talking Gemini's with the, well, I mean it's air, so it's lungs, and then the Gemini. Yeah. Well, we turn. There's the Gemini and the Mercury. Everything we touch turns to gold, kind of thing, and the flight of Mercury, and then Mercury being um, the element, which is metal, but it's also fluid. I've done a whole bunch of videos on Mercury itself, which I think is pretty interesting stuff. And the Silver Surfer, the Silver Cord, and Mercury. 10. God, the Tao, and the Source. Oh, interesting, man. Yeah, you bet I have to. I mean, isn't liquid lioness? I mean, isn't that obvious at this point? It is so. I don't. I've said it before. It's you either attract. If you're a healer, you attract broken people, right? Or the other influence is you either attract things that are very much like you, or very much that need your assistance. That's kind of the two people most everyone will find in their life. It's who needs help from you, and who do you need help from. It's kind of the way of the world. It's the who we way. Oh, yep, yeah, yeah. Katrina, yeah, the Sagittarius. I've dated quite many Sagittarius and Scorpios, and get along very very well, except sometimes. then it's then it's utter chaos. Damn, dude, that's fucking sucks. Sorry to hear that, man. I've had some wild shit. I've had some wild encounters, but this is maybe the beginning of the show. Maybe why, because I've been talking to other people that have had weird relationship issues lately, and I've been like, all right, gotta get out of that funk, and put your mind in the place where, like, that's not gonna be the reality. That is past, and get into, put yourself in good relationships and expect people to, you know behave in a cohesive way with you. Oh, another puppy over here. I'm gonna get to play with the dog. What's up, Jimin? Well, see that too. Yeah, the being too hot to hi puppy. That's that's why I'm kind of happy that my cupboards are already empty. It's so hot, I shouldn't be eating. And the past few days, before going outside, I didn't eat, and I felt so comfortable in the heat. And then I just ate a bunch and came outside, and I'm sweaty and lethargic, and yeah, you got to keep it lighter in the summer, man. I mean, if you do eat based upon your location, here's one of the things it will do with your breathing, your blood, your viscosity, your weight. It will naturally provide you with those things. If you're where it's hot, it will naturally give you more juicy, wet foods. It will give you watermelon. Like for breakfast today, I had a watermelon. I just went to the store and bought a whole watermelon, and that was breakfast. And what's going to be around me? Fruits. So if I'm not an idiot, what I'll do is I'll not go. If I'm being smart, I won't go to fast food restaurant. I won't go out to eat. I won't cook any food. There's no reason to. So it's just by the nature of my surroundings, I'll just consume liquid, consume the cigar, I guess. Air, oxygen, breathe. Yeah, Tan, I hear you on that, man. Sometimes people just got some people got that bad day, that bad energy in them. Sometimes you bring it out of people. It's just sometimes that shit happens, man. You gotta fucking sucks. What up, Jimin? What's up, Saggy Moon? Ha 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 ha. Good, man. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, my only I'm I hear on the I'm not so aggressive. Maybe in my life I've been more defensive to things. And I don't really start shit with people. Maybe I'm talking and getting arguments with people. But yeah, I'm not really into the physical violence thing. So haven't really received too much. So that's cool. I think I got that out early in life. Like playing very contactful sports, and that will shape your behavior quite a bit. You catch you played running back, you playing quarterback, catch one once in a while. Yeah, damn it. That ain't fun. You better fix your gaze in different positions. Yeah, I hear you. The eating in the heat. Yeah, and it just feels so much better. It's just lighter, and it's easier to get around, and I sweat less. I'm cooler. You don't have to take you don't have to take dumps when it's hot out. Oh, that's the worst when it's 100 degrees out and you like I've got a swampy ass. You got a shit. That's no good. I don't like that. Haha, do I ever get homosexuals? Um, no, me personally, no. I've had option to do that, but I would no. I've probably dated a couple chicks that would rather be where I was than where they were staying. You know what I'm saying? Probably a couple. There was a couple chicks that were like they were living in not great conditions and like, hey, I'm cool. Uh, you know, I'm good at certain things. So it seemed like a better option for them, you know. But no full on hobo shit. No. Yeah, the animalistic shit. Oh, Katrina, cool. Yeah, I do sometimes get sidetracked by comments, but uh, when I do, like I did two yesterday for like what? I did like 5 hours. So sometimes I got to get into the comments and I have to sidetrack myself because, well, there's so many things to talk about, and once in a while the sidetracks turn into something that's important. It's more or less why I do these too, to get somewhat sidetracked because somebody will ask me a question that like, oh, I forgot about talking about that, or oh, I haven't addressed that in a couple years for you guys, or whatever. So that's always nice. Because I mean, if it was like I said before, if I just went back to not doing this and I just did one directional, let me just you guys would get 20 minutes of me saying something, going, all right, I guess that's it. See you guys in a couple days. I mean, how much fun would that be? And that way too, I would never ever hmm, like I have obviously way too many videos that I would not. If I did it that way, I would never repeat a story, and it'd be too difficult to tell people where to find it. So it's more fun to do this way. But if there's anything that I was talking about, if you want me to get on track with something or talk about it, just let me know what it is. Yeah, sidetracked is a road to epiphanies for sure. All the all the little side quests in your life. Like I was listening to somebody sent me a video earlier, and the it was the funniest fucking guy. I forget who the fuck it was. And the meditation, the motivation was there is no destination, just be on your journey. And he was just talking about, he's like, I go to this forest next to my house, and he goes, the reason I go there is because there's no vistas, there's no views, there's no overlooking some lake, there's no like something. I'm just out here, and I'm gonna walk where I walk, and hey, look at this. Look at this beautiful tree, and look at this mushroom over here. Oh, and here's a butterfly. It's kind of that. It's kind of reminiscent of the book, the Tao of Pooh, the Tao of Pooh, which is how Pooh Bear lives. Like, oh, look at this. You know, if you allow, you have such an empty mind that you just allow for whatever experience you're having. Yeah, you can't. If you focus so much on the destination, you obviously forget you won't enjoy the journey. And then once you get to where you're going, you're gonna be so caught up with like, okay, at 8 o'clock we got to do this, at 10 o'clock we got to do this, and everything is like so scheduled. You almost don't get to enjoy that either. Well, that's a double shot of insanity for Zen. Let's see what happens. As anybody here well knows, do not give me 2 cups of coffee. We have to balance that out. To do with what I got in here. Although the tobacco helps balance out the caffeine. Fabulous. What are you talking about? When I talk about seizures, what do you mean? When I'm having a seizure because I've drank too much coffee? Oh, Danny, yeah, Danny. Hey, you guys, check out that dude. Danny sent me the video. Sean Boland. Really funny. Yep. Yeah, those old ones we used to do. Yeah, Mayan. We used to do a bunch, and a couple other people. But yeah, me and Mayan, we used to go on like fucking journeys. Man, that shit was funny. Yeah, we used to do the ones on the Zoom where I would just leave the shit on and people would just come and go for hours at a time. Those were interesting because then I could be like, all right, guys, you guys got to give me a minute. Feel free, fucking kick it in here. Those were nice. More like hangout sesh. Which again, if anybody wants me to start doing those again, I'm happy to. But you guys got to really come through with a couple bucks because I can't come out the pocket with the honey it will cost for the year. Um, if you guys come through, I'll start doing that. If you guys, hey, there is apparently 6,500 people that are sub to me, and just for $1 a month, if you all came through, I would be more than happy to turn this into something completely wildly different. I would hire someone if everyone just $1 a month by all you motherfuckers. That's easy. That's easy. I would hire someone to do a videography and we'd have like adventures and shit. I would plan things out. We could go places. But as it sits now, you get me on a bench talking this mess. What's up, Matt Nixon? What else? It's always an interesting thing. Once you learn how to cycle, I don't know who can do this or if you ever tried to. I wouldn't suggest trying to do it unless your kidneys are pretty clean. But cycling your urine back inside of you, you do it anyways at night, and you can do it. It's like whenever you have to pee, and then instead you breathe through it, and there's a couple muscles you can clench and put that back into you. You don't want to put that back into you if you're very, very toxic and unhealthy. It'd be more trouble than it's worth. Just go piss. But like sometimes when I gotta piss when I'm doing these, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just. And there we go. Not much. Don't have to pee so bad anymore. It's hard to explain how to do it. You have a few different muscles down there and some breathing that you can do. Hey, Ninja. Yeah. Uh-huh. My crows? Well, yeah, I would take you to hang out with the ducks, but that's a whole wild situation. Once the ducks see me, it's all over. Then it's game on. Ninja, yeah, to go towards something. Yeah, it's that's a good philosophy, man. Most people, whenever they take drugs, they take them as either a remedy or an escapism or a to dull senses. It's to dull senses or to move from a feeling. Yeah, it's try using substances in the opposite fashion. Like let's be clear about something here. I'm more of an introvert. I don't necessarily. This is amazing for people. They go, no fucking way, no way. You can talk to anybody. You're an extrovert. You're wild. I'm like, yeah, but not really. Like I like to keep to myself, and so to put myself in a space of humans of being extroverted. I like to use a substance that will allow me to be in that space. I mean, sure, I can do that if I'm completely sober. I don't give a fuck, but I don't necessarily. It's not my thing. I'm not out there like, hey, let me fucking entertain and dance and talk to everybody. But to be in that space, I'm like, all right, maybe I drink a little bit, maybe I smoke a little bit, maybe I take this substance. I mean, those things put me more into, I don't know, the energy field of everything around me. That it's like, how can you be more involved in the experience? That's it. You know, it's like sometimes, like only frequently do I take anything to numb a pain. For the longest time, I even when I had major, I would just like, nope, I'm not taking any drugs, no nothing. Didn't even drink for a while. And I said, well, you know what? Sometimes, you know, you can overburden your senses. You can kind of, um, you know, you get your nerves are too brightened up, and like everything is too. Like you touch something, it's too much, and that sometimes it's proper to dull things, but most of the times you should take whatever substance to heighten your awareness, to heighten your ability to interact with things. Like for me, a spot of coffee, maybe a spliff, and some alcohol, I'm good to go. I think we're all ambiverts, yeah. Yeah, ambiverts for sure. I think most people probably are more introverted probably due to life traumas, and be honest. If you don't like what you look like in the mirror, you know, mentally, and I'm not saying just like look into a mirror, but like mentally what you think you see. If you don't like that, and if you don't like what you look like, you're probably going to be more introverted. You know, that's just a standard practice. Um, Extroverted people, sometimes they go out of their way because they don't want to think about themselves. They don't want to be introverted, because to sit there with your own thoughts, that's a challenge. Try it sometime, you know. It can be most difficult at first, but then you get comfortable with yourself, and then you're comfortable with everything else around you. So there is a yeah. I mean, certainly I think probably because earlier in life I was much more extroverted. Everything was okay. We're playing games. I'm out here. I'm being the funny dude. I'm causing that. You know, that was it. And then I became more like, all right, I'm kind of spent on that. And I was like, all right, what can I do to, you know, go through that hermetic thing, Hermes, hermetic seal, and just be to yourself and like learn something and observe your own thoughts and your own self, and like, yeah, shit, like, how am I sitting right now? Am I comfortable? Like right now, consider where you're sitting. Where are your feet? Are your feet comfortable? Are your hands comfortable? Are you in a good position? Are your thoughts comfortable? You can't really do anything about your thoughts. You just gotta let them go. But you can at least adjust your body. And there's your breath. And then if your body's comfortable, and then your breathing is comfortable, your mind will start to work more in your favor. What's up, Super Champ? Interesting. Usually I'd consider that to be usually all of that is inverted, meaning if you're, so how to explain this. It will probably give you more energy to a degree. It'll give you more. I mean, for me, like I don't get agitated. I get more excited. Maybe you're associating excitement with a type of agitation. But your body in the cells in your body, in the fats, and it stores all your emotions are stored all over your body. So think of it this way. Right now, if I say I'm hanging out with somebody and I'm having a bad experience, and so I eat out of emotion, and those thoughts are going through my head, those chemicals and those emotions are getting stored in the fats in my body as I'm eating. So now that emotion is stored in my body somewhere. So when I go through the process of releasing that, I'm going to feel that emotion. If I fast, if I start losing weight, and I'm losing some fats, inside of that molecule is literally a stored up memory charge of an emotion that I was having some other time. So it might not be necessarily the re-ingestion of the urine, but the releasing of whatever emotion that you had in your body. Because the plasma itself, after it goes through your kidneys, it's inverting itself. So if you put poison in your body, it becomes the panacea. And after going through the kidneys, it's literally imploding and turning water inside out. So the poison then becomes the panacea. You know? So I don't think it's necessarily the piss that's agitating you. I think the piss heightens your awareness and the releasing of anger, aggression, past traumas, and yeah, I think that's what's going on. Because certainly when you do a fast, it's usually one day worth of a fast is worth 1 year of your life. So, for instance, if you're on day 10 of a water fast, when I say fast, I'm talking about water fast. I mean, other fasts will have different speeds and when things get released. That's hard to explain. I don't know that good. But water fast, basically 1 day is worth 1 year. So on day 10 of a fast, if 10 years ago, here's how the body releases last in, first out. The last thing that you've eaten, the last emotion you had is the first that will come out of you. So 10 days into a fast, I'll be releasing something from 10 years ago. So I'm wondering why I'm on day 10 and I get this feeling of I'm pissed about something. I don't know what it is, but it's a feeling of anger or something. Now, if I really understood 10 years ago, oh, me and my wife got in a fight and it was over this and and that day I ate this, and that fat molecule, something in my body was holding that. Not necessarily fat, but it's most of the time it's fat, but it can be stored in could be stored in a joint, it definitely can be stored in organs. But that's what I'm feeling. That's what you're feeling whenever you're releasing something. You're releasing something that's going to go through your body, and you're going to feel that emotion. And then you just let it go, and then it's gone. What's up, Divine? What's going on? And liver, yeah, your liver is gonna. Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing you could do too. Is you could do a major cleanse. You could just do a major liver gallbladder cleanse. Just do some coffee enemas, or do an oil and lemon, lime, grapefruit juice. Just look up the liver gallbladder cleanse. Just do that, and you'll push. Immediately you're gonna go through like ugh, and you're gonna have all of the not feeling well and and then all of a sudden you're gonna release it. And you're gonna shit it all out, and you'll feel like $1 million afterwards. Highly suggest coffee enemas and the oil and acid, and that way you can just release that liver all at once. Balance of hormones. Help me out, Jimmy. What are you asking here? How to, or what? What you mean? Afraid to go on longer fast. Yeah, that doesn't. The body doesn't work that way. As long as you're breathing and getting outside, getting some sunshine, grounding yourself, your body's smarter than you are. I would maybe go ahead and eat a bunch of, put some weight on first. If that's how you feel, put some weight on first. Eat the really good fats. Eat the really good, healthy, hefty things. Put on some weight. If you really feel like you're gonna lose too much weight and you're scared of that. I mean, if I broke it down for you from the cellular level, your body won't let that happen. Some people actually will maintain. You could talk to Who the hell just did a really long fast? Fire Drake. Fire Drake just did a really long fast and said he was maintaining his body weight on a fast. He wasn't losing any weight, and he's kind of chubby. I mean, at least big bodied, like I think he said he did 20 days or something. Or if you're scared of doing long on water, just do a fruit juice fast. Do lemonades and fruit juices and things. That way, at least you're sure in your mind that you're getting nutrition and enough sugars and things to run your body. I don't think you'll lose more. You're not going to lose more weight than you need to. If you already are skinny musculature wise, that's not you're a fast. You don't lose muscle weight. Your body does not take proteins from the muscle. It takes a very small amount of protein from the muscle throughout a fast. It takes your sugars from your glycogen that is being fueled by the fats and other cancers and nonsense in your body. Those things get broken down in your body first. The percentage of that is like the major percentage of your fuel source is your body cleansing itself. I don't remember what the number is, but it's a very small amount that you'll lose musculature wise. Yeah, Ninja Turtle. Ninja, yeah. I mean, even throwing some lime on that rash would be good. You lost 5 pounds, not eating for 2 weeks. Well, see, that's not even that much. Usually when people go on a proper water fast, you'll lose almost a pound a day. That's usually standard, about a pound a day. Again, starting point and how hydrated you are. Starting point with how much trash is in your intestines. Those kind of things are going to adjust how much weight you're going to lose and how much fat you got on you and how much exercise you're doing. Oh, okay, you're saying how to balance out hormones? Yeah, you gotta. I mean, and funny enough, I mean, part of fear is where is fear held? Is fear held in your grief and fear are held in your kidneys, right? And probably some in your intestines. So, I mean, some of that fear you'll get rid of just by doing a cleanse. What up, Black Sun? It's whatever you like, man. Oh yeah, so okay, back to the balancing hormones. Huh. Um, I would start with looking at food signatures and masculine and feminine foods. Obviously, any kind of grounding is going to help with everything because that's going to balance out. That's just on that alone, you're gonna balance out chemicals in your brain. As soon as you put your feet on the ground, your biological unit here, this body you're running around in, is gonna start releasing different chemicals from your brain and every other organ and thing in your body that you're producing, and it's going to balance it out because when you ground yourself, the electromagnetic frequency that's going through you is now going to be dissipating into the earth. It's like go hug a tree. Those things, those help immediately. And then the foods you eat, definitely oils. Doing an oil basti is way up there in balancing out things because you're lubricating the system and again, looking at the signatures of the foods. If you're feeling overly estrogen and feeling very sensitive and feminine, then look into more masculine type foods, grounding foods. And then if you're feeling all grounded out and like male and earthy and whatever, you might want to find things that are more feminine and dainty and fruit like and flowery. And go smell some flowers. Go find some. Go look up the essential oils. I don't know it off the top of my head, but smelling essential oils with either one of these here. This one's going to connect to this brain. This one's going to connect to this brain. So your masculine and feminine are changed here, but you just smell with each nostril, and that'll help balance you out. Start releasing proper hormones. What's up? What's up? Uh, yeah, flaxseed probably. Let me think about flaxseed. Yeah, what a lot of people need to know about most oils is if you don't get them new, if you don't get them fresh, a lot of oils are susceptible to spoilage and becoming rotten. So you could be using all sorts of oil that is not really it's not benefiting you because it's no good anymore. A lot of oil, it spoils a lot quicker than you think. So if you're gonna get something, especially to do a cleanse or something, you gotta use it. You can't just be like, oh, I'll put this in my cupboard for later. It's not gonna have the same effects. And it's usually I think it's the thicker the oil, the longer it's gonna last. I mean, it would seem like it would be that way. I don't know off the top of my head which oils these are, but I know flaxseed is one that is quite susceptible to going rancid. So it's like some of these oils you got to store in the fridge, so they don't turn as quickly. Yeah, 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 for sure. Because you got more energy instead of the energy going to digesting the food, it's going to the rest of the body, doing healing work and whatever kind of. Like, I mean, think about it in the simplest sense. If I were to give you some food and tell you to go run a marathon, you'd you'd pass out, you'd fall over, you'd puke, you'd fart, you'd vomit, you wouldn't be able to do it. You'd your energy would be diverted. If, however, you didn't you didn't eat, that would be easy process. And in fact, if you look into the old timey weightlifters, even some of the newer guys that know what's up, if they have a competition, weightlifting competition, even strongman type shit, they would always fast for a couple days before their competition, because they would be able to lift more, because they had more strength. They probably didn't understand the simple science and behind it, which is if your body isn't going through the process of digestion and assimilation, then your body is stored up energy, and now it's can do the job that you want it to do, rather than like eating before you go and do something makes no sense. You're losing energy. You hear the thunder? I might have to take you guys into a covered area in a second. Loop it good. Loop it real good. I don't think it's gonna come over here, but we'll see. Let's see what time it is here. It's 12:30. Well, how about this? Because I can't really tell where this is gonna go. I don't feel like getting caught right here. Let me go run over to this building, and we'll do this from under the inside, the veranda. Is that the right word? A veranda. Let me go take a piss, and I will start another show, and give me like 25 minutes, 20 minutes. So yeah, how you guys feel about that? Come back in like 20, and we'll continue this journey on. Yeah, let me see where because the ducks are the other way, so I think that's a possibility. We might be able to go see the ducks, depending on which way this rain is going. I can't really tell because I got tree covering over me. Let me go give it a little look-see. And you duck epiphanies. I'm gonna go have a shit epiphany, and then we'll have some duck epiphanies. So give me like 20 minutes or so. It's good to see everybody. Everybody knows the rules. Rule number 1: donate if you want to. That would be great. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. It's in the description box. Help me make sure that I have enough juice and water for possible hurricane shit. And remember, always take care of yourself, because it's your journey. Enjoy it. And when you have a little extra, share that shit. And stay goofy, be weird. And I'll see you guys in like 20. Be awesome. Talk to you in a little bit. Bye, bitches.